Hi there.
Hi.
How's it going? You're an early bird like me, huh?
Well, sometimes when it comes to Zoom links, I got to click around and usually find Julie's last email is usually the best resource. And then if that doesn't work, I go to the link tree and hope that I can get the link tree. It's, like a reoccurring Zoom or something.
You know,
But
we're familiar with this for the past year and a half, and I'm still not comfortable getting on and getting on to these different calls. I like to get on early to make sure that everything's working.
right. And, and then I see people who, have a static picture versus a dynamic background and all these different things. And I know it's really distracting. I don't know. I mean, I like saving all of the time and not having face-to-face meetings. And so Zoom has been good. Not the greatest, but it's good, right?
I just last week we had our first back in person blend of Zoom and in person for the California Association of Realtors Board of Directors meeting.
Right.
So we have them 3 times a year. And I think it was more complicated having the blend, the hybrid, than just having Zoom or having in person.
What people were chatting and also trying to Zoom in or talk or what?
No, it's just that as a when you're voting on things,
Oh,
if it's all Zoom,
the
you
tabulation is a lot easier.
it's just easier to vote on things, discuss on things easier. You get people that come up to the microphone on the floor and you're in debate, and then you can't forget about the other 300 people that are on Zoom. That's half the people. So we had about half the people attend in person and half the people attend by Zoom.
So the people that were in attendance were essentially doing the filibuster thing.
No,
They
no,
weren't
it's
not intentional. It was just that they
no,
were.
no, not at all. It was equally mixed in terms of participation. So,
How
but
many?
it's just
You said there was 300.
there's about 800 total
Oh,
directors in the whole state.
holy smokes!
So, and when you split it up in a hybrid, it gets a little more cumbersome. So, but I understand not everyone felt comfortable about meeting in person, and so it's a necessary evil to have both. Morning, Elaine.
Hi.
I could share my screen, so I think I'm good.
Okay, I just double hosted you.
Okay. Let me try right now.
Oh, yep. I see it.
Yep, I'm good.
Okay, awesome.
Let's see how I get out of this.
And screen share.
Stop share. Got it. Okay, I'm
You
good.
good? Okay.
See you later.
Okay, you gonna call me when you're done?
Yeah, we have our 12:30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll call you after that.
Bye, Levi. Bye, Levi.
Bye. Yeah, and even like the view thing, Mike, I got
Wow.
2 monitors set up at home, and it, works a little bit different than one monitor and a laptop here. It's like, you know,
Yeah,
and then I was using a AirPod Bluetooth setup, and then I was occasionally getting bumped off because of, I don't know, additional traffic. And it's like, you know what, just go with the wired headphone and just deal with it, right?
yep. Were you on the last uh, 6 personal perspective class?
Yeah,
How many people are usually attending?
15-ish, maybe.
Okay, all right. That actually is a pretty good showing.
Yeah, well, the first one was Rob Ross, right? And then the next one was Elaine, was the 80/20. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yep, that's it. Actually, I think that's my favorite, the 80/20.
Yeah, they teach that in corporate. They've been teaching it forever, and it really applies to a lot of different stuff. I mean, it's not a very, precise science, but it's something to always have in the back of your mind. Excuse me, in the back of your mind. That, am I being productive in the 20%? Right?
Yeah, but I think it could be changed to 90/10.
Probably. Well, and a lot of it, you got to force yourself not to do busy work, before you jump into your Outlook or whatever email you're using. Before you do that, you should have a little bit of a plan, because once you get sucked into your emails and your voicemails, the day is probably not headed in the direction you thought it was going to.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink real quick. Get some water. I'll be right back. We'll get started in a couple minutes. Okay.
It's your
How's everyone doing?
phone. Somebody's calling. This someone you a holler.
Hi, guys. How's everyone?
Good,
We ready to get started?
sure.
All right, perfect. So, so today's class is E to P, and it's the third class of the 6 personal perspective. So, have you guys done the first one, commitment to self-mastery, and then the second one is the 80-20 principle? And then now this third one is E to P. So what I wanted to kind of go over, just a brief summary of the first two that leads us to what we're going to talk about today. The first thing is, committing to self-mastery is you know what you do well, and you do it, and what you need to do, you master it so that you become very proficient and do a great job in this. Now, Rob taught the first class, and I'm sure he spent a lot more time than I'm going to spend on it, but it's important that you know what you do good, what you do well at, and you do it. The second one, and I was just talking to Levi about that earlier, is the 80-20 principle, which I think we could change it from the 80-20 to the 90-10. But that is where you spend your time versus you invest your time, and you stop the busy work, but you achieve the one thing that really where you really accomplish your goals. And what I got out of that, and I like to get your thoughts, is that everything does not matter equally, and there are priorities for doing some things, and other things could be put on the back burner. We get into a phase, and I'm a prime example of it, where I try to do something because I feel good about it, because it's busy, but it's not accomplishing what I really need to do. Anyone want to talk about the last 2 classes that you guys did? Any ahas that you want to share? Okay, then we're gonna jump on E to P. And E to P is a KW term, which is entrepreneurial to being really productive. And what I want to do is I want to kind of go over a video that we'll talk about. So it's entrepreneurial to purposeful, and we all have our natural ability to do something, where your natural ability, and that only goes so far, and then you come across a ceiling where your entrepreneurial skills keeps on hitting the ceiling and you bounce down. And a lot of times, to get to being purposeful, you have to do something to break the ceiling. So anyway, let's get into the class video right now. Bear with me while I share a screen. Uh-oh. I got to share the screen. Now I just got, hold on a second. Elaine must have just not enabled me to share it anymore. Let me text her right now, and
Mike, I wanted to jump in. I had stepped away for a second when you asked any ahas from the previous classes, and the thing that I told Rob, the thing that I kind of was making a declaration for myself was to let go of things that I can't control and really focus on changing the things that I can change as it relates to everything in my life. It is like more of a personal, true self-mastery principle for me. And I did a road trip. I drove 4 hours Friday and then 4 hours back yesterday. And I was really just focusing on that and trying to make sure that I was only focused on what I was in charge of on the road, focus on, driving for my safety and not worrying about people passing on the right or whatever it may be.
Sure.
So I think that as far as personal growth, I think that so far I've gotten at least one thing that I can work on out of this series.
That's great. That's great. Anyone else want to share either self-mastery or the other one, 80-20? Okay.
Mike,
All
were you the first one on here?
No, I don't. I think Levi was on first, but
Okay.
I'm okay. I could share. Can everyone see
I
the,
fixed it. Oh, thanks, Jules.
okay, everyone see Brenda? We'll get started with her couple-minute video right now. If everyone
Yes.
can see. Okay, good. Let's get started on this.
Hi, I'm Brenda Benson, and I've experienced moving from E to P, entrepreneurial to purposeful. And I want to share a personal story with you about how that happened in my own career. As I entered the real estate field, I began to lead generate. And in my lead generation process, I just kind of winged it. That's what I call E. I was not purposeful. I lead generated when it was convenient. I lead generated when I was around familiar faces. I lead generated when I was in a familiar environment. And guess what? My results reflected the haphazardness of that lead generation. When I became purposeful, my results showed that purposefulness. As I looked to pick up the phone and make those calls, and I blocked time for my lead generation, my appointments went up. When my appointments went up, my actual results reflected those appointments. So I know in my own life, just through lead generating and knowing when I was in E versus when I was in P, that my results were different when I became a purposeful lead generator. And I know that can happen for you. So let me share with you 5 quick concepts that really helped me move from E to P. Number 1, focus. Focus on that 20%. Number 2, create strategies and action items that will support you staying in that focused 20%. Number 3, follow the model. The next item would be to install and implement the system. Implement systems that support the model. And finally, number 5, be accountable. Make sure that you're tracking and you're looking at, as I was, the entrepreneurial piece versus the purposeful piece. So if you are willing to embrace these 5 quick concepts that I just shared with you, your world can change just like mine has. Are you willing to move from entrepreneurial to purposeful?
Okay. Are we back to our regular sharing? So it was interesting, how to get purposeful and breaking through the ceiling of achievement to get to your goals. Any ahas or feedback that anyone wants to share? I'll tell you, I'll start off. It reminded me back in my younger days, I loved playing baseball. And I had some entrepreneurial skills of being able to hit when a pitch would come in, and I would be able to hit the ball. Well, as I got older into my teenage years, the pitching velocity increased. There was the movement on the baseball going from straight down the pike to a curveball. And my entrepreneurial level ended, and I needed help to get to the next level. And I needed my coaches to help me, teach me how to hit a curveball or how to hit a faster pitch that would be coming in. And that's 45, 50 years ago. So anybody have anything to share, maybe in regards to business or even personal? Any examples of an E to P that you guys have done? Don't be shy. I got till 1 o'clock. Anything?
Mike, so I'll say, it's the same idea that you plan your work and work your plan. And it's not time wasted in the morning if it's, it can be the first thing, or for me, it's the first thing before I turn on the computer. But asking yourself, am I following the plan? Ask yourself every day, am I following the plan? Or have I turned into the squirrel in the squirrel cage who is running, the whole frustration regression concept, right? You keep doing something, even though you know it's wrong, you keep doing it because that's what you do. You need to ask yourself, am I following the plan?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she talked about the five steps in getting purposeful. Let's go over them. Okay. The first step was focus. And you already did that when you did your first class, self-mastery. You write your goals, and then you focus on the top 20%, right? And that was the first couple of classes that they went in depth. Elaine and Rob went in depth about that part of it. So, it's like building a foundation. You got to focus first. And then once you focus, then the next step would be find strategic options, and not just on focus on what you want to accomplish and your top 20%, but how can you do it? And analyzing it and say, okay, I did it this way. Is there a way that I could do this more efficiently, better, faster, and to get the job done? Third option is find the models to follow. And how do we find the models? Usually by training. We attend the training sessions, we find a little nugget, we take it back to our regular basic work structure, and we implement it. And we keep on doing that on a regular basis by sharpening our axe, by continue going to different classes, find a more effective way to model or things like that. And then we also, besides the training that we go to, we identify the model of people that we can model after. And people have done this before. Whatever we're trying to do, people have done it, and they've done it at a high level. And it's important to, instead of recreating the wheel, I find that if we can copy and mimic what these successful people have done and implement it, not only does it save time and effort, but it helps make us more successful in a lot quicker period of time. The fourth step to getting purposeful is install the systems. And the one critical thing that is time blocking. I find that if you don't time block, you waste away critical minutes, hours, days, months in order to time block. And create checklists, and again, test the system to make sure that they are working. The best approach that I have to time blocking is what KW introduced to me probably about 15 years ago. And that is the 411. And if you haven't gone over that yet, you will be, and I'm not sure which class, but it will be part of the 6 personal perspectives. And it'll be the basically it sets up what you're looking for goals, sets up what you're looking for the year, for the month, for the week, and your daily accountability to get to those goals. And that is one of the best instruments that you could use to help with your time blocking and help you in getting into your taking into account your 80-20 rule on that. And that's all about accountability, which is the 5th and final step to getting purposeful. Keeping track with your 411, writing it down, measure it, always evaluating at the end of each day what you did versus what you wanted to accomplish. And there's nothing better than having a peer partner to hold you accountable. It's different to hold yourself accountable versus having a peer accountable. When I was going to the gym, and I've stopped since COVID, there's days I didn't want to go to the gym, but I had an accountability partner that was going to be there waiting for me, and I didn't want to put up with his grief if I didn't show up. And there was many times when I didn't want to show up, and I went because of that accountability partner. Any comments you guys want to talk about regarding these 5 steps? Any successes, any things that you disagree with, that you agree with, that you want to focus with, that you want to focus on these 5 steps, including the first step is focus? What do you guys do? I mean, everyone I think is learning based to some degree. Every single one of us. What do you do to deal with breaking the barrier to getting to the being purposeful? So everyone has an entrepreneurial skill at doing whatever. Give me an example that you guys do. Doesn't have to be business. It could be anything. Anybody want to share? Let me ask you a question. If you're not learning based, what are you? Put it to anything that you guys do. I'll volunteer first, but I want some other people to share what they do. I am on the taxation committee for NAR. I'm also involved with CAR, taxation committee. You know, I'm entrepreneurial when it comes to taxes and what's going on, but I am way out of my league right now with everything that's happening with tax changes and for realtors, what is best for our organization is what's best for property owners and all that. I need help. So I have a couple people that are experts a lot more than I am, and I am using them. They are taking me under their wing for me to get more skill and learning based about taxes and about realtors and about real estate and owning real estate and what our tax situation, income tax situation could be from a perspective that Washington DC is looking at. And it's important that people represent the realtors to make sure that private property rights aren't getting affected, that our industry is not suffering as a result of that. So I got a big learning curve. And to tell you that I know exactly what's going on, I'd be lying to you. So I am taking crash courses from some of my peers, as well as our NAR and CAR representatives that deal with Washington and deal with Sacramento to learn as much as I can. So I could represent the Realtor organization on our board of directors meetings. Anyway, it's not really directly related to our business, but it's indirectly related to how we conduct our business. Who's got something that they want to share?
I got something. I'm really shy. I don't like to talk. I tend to not say anything. That's a joke. I have played music professionally for about 6 years, and at the beginning of that time, I've played music my whole life. I play the drums. I've been lucky enough to meet people who have turned that into a stream of income for me. So I have a skill that with a little bit of reliance on others, I'm able to turn into a huge part of my life as far as travel. We've gone to Wyoming. I travel all over the state of California, up the Pacific Northwest, and using, there's people that are just better at the booking aspects and the promotion in that specific avenue than I am. And I've learned so much about how to apply that to my real estate business from these people that are just natural self-promoters in the music industry. So I still think that being learning based is where I didn't really grow as a learner until college, and then I have since really tried to focus on always whatever skill, whatever part of a skill I can learn from the people that I surround myself with. That's what I try to focus on. That's what I try to emphasize in my life.
Nice. All right, anybody else? Stephen Barkley, give me are you doing anything right now, personally or professionally, that you're learning? Anything you're reading? Anything that you're studying, learning? I don't care. Personal, business, anything at all?
My apologies. I just walked back into the room. I wasn't.
Okay, perfect. It just everyone does something from E to P. Everyone is, I think, no matter what level, everyone does a learning-based activity. It could be inside business, outside of business. It could be anything you're reading, anything you're studying, anything you're doing, cooking, planting, gardening, anything that you can share with us of something that you're professional baseball.
just continuing to sharpen the saw, continuing to watch everything I'm doing, whether it's chores, cooking dinner. I'm always listening to a YouTube video, or listening to a podcast, or I'm driving somewhere. So I'm just always just trying to take in as much information as I can every single day. Try to read the paper every day, just keep myself informed and keep myself on top of things.
Good. Anybody else want to share before I call on you? Come on, Heidi. Heidi, come on. Don't be shy.
Okay, I was just typing in the comments that I read a really good book that everybody might enjoy. It was Sell It Like Serhant by
Nice.
Ryan Serhant of the $1 Million Listing. And it actually was so, I can't believe how helpful it was. A lot of times with real estate books, it'll talk a lot about building a team or, more lead generation things. And those, I think, are not what I struggle with. It's more of like the mindset, and he just broke it down so well. So I put that in the comments that I really love that. But Yeah, I don't know if that was actually the answer to what you were
No, no, no.
asking, but okay.
Totally. I mean,
Yeah.
before KW, I never really looked at it as that I was learning based, because I never thought of it that way. But, I read, I try to do some self-help classes and, try to pick up on things that, whether it's whatever phase of my personal life I am. And it wasn't until I joined KW that, hey, you know what? I am learning based. I didn't put it together, and now everything I do is learning based. So
But what
um,
exactly do you mean by learning based? Because I
well,
would think everybody's learning based.
that's right. Everyone is learning based. Now it's just a question of just relating it and putting it in your mind that you are learning based, because everything that you do, like this example, this E to P, everyone does it. It's just that we're not conscious that we do that. Everyone has an entrepreneurial skill, whether it's gardening, whether it's cooking, whether it's as I said, growing up playing baseball, and then but you can only go so far, and you hit a ceiling. Um, I can't grow tomato plants as well as I get to a certain level, and then I pick up some skill set and I learn something to do that gets me to the next level. So it's about everything. Now, the important thing is um, just I just lost my comment. It's anything that you do, and you're conscious that you're hitting a ceiling, and that's where I think things click in, and you get to do something to break that ceiling to get to that level of achievement. Let's do one more. Hey, John, I don't want to pick on you, but I'm picking on you.
Awesome. Hey,
Perfect.
Mike, good afternoon. John Show, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So I think right now my challenge is, being fairly new to the office. I'm about 4 months in, and just not getting stuck in an analysis paralysis is a term that I've heard before. And basically where you're getting so much information in that you get locked out from actually taking action. And so my goal is, between balancing my kids at home and home life, is continuing to continue to generate leads when I can outside of the home, but also continuing to do the professional development of all of the My KW YouTube videos. And so I've been doing those at night, just taking it all in on my own time, which is super valuable. And I would tell the other people in the office who are fairly new is, I mean, a lot of these videos don't have too many views on them, and there's so much good content out there that you just do when you can, right? Do when you have openings during lunchtime, at nighttime, but don't get stuck into where you're analyzing all of this information so much where you just get stuck doing nothing. So that's what I've been focusing on, basically taking these nuggets of information and then acting on them.
Yeah, good. I can tell you guys, everyone in this Zoom call is learning based, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be attending any classes. And I'm proud of you guys, because the way to sharpen your skills and improve your outlook on not just your business but everyday life, I think is getting some sort of learning based idea, whether it's personal or business. So I think this class, not so much E2P, but the six personal perspectives class is one of the top 5 classes that I think that you can take. I really believe it. One of the things that I'm going to do as soon as I finish up my I'm doing a fun read right now, but I'm going to start reading again The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And have you guys read that book yet? Have you read it from cover to cover? And have you read it again? I know people in the KW model that have read it more than 10 times, double digits, reading that book and you using it as a reference. It's time. It's been a number of years for me. I got to read it again, and I'll pick up some more things on it the next time I read it. So anyway, anything else anyone wants to add? The E to P is a real simple process, but it's really just a mindset of self-realization that everyone has an entrepreneurial skill, but sometimes we need help to break through the barrier to achieve the goals. And you have to be, from entrepreneurial, you have to put your hat on to get to purposeful, and you have to break the barrier. So I think if you just realize the process, you're halfway there. You're halfway there. The 6 personal perspectives, and I don't know the after E to P, I don't know when the schedule is for the next 3, but number 4 is make being learning based the foundation of your action plan. Number 5 is remove your limiting beliefs. And number 6 is be accountable. You know, speaking about limiting beliefs, I was interviewing an agent years ago, and they said, a brand new agent, and they said, you know, I want to do 2 transactions a month. I want to do the next 12 months. I want to do 24 transactions. Now in my mind, I said, I didn't say anything. And who is it me to say that's going to be really difficult? That's going to be really hard, or that's going to be, you know, if you could do half of that, you're you know, doing more than most of the real estate agents that are out there. I learned my lesson not to say anything with that, because I don't want to limit someone's belief. If they want to do 24 transactions, do people do 24 transactions a year? Do we have people in our office that do 24 transactions a year? We have people that do 100 transactions a year. So who's it me to limit someone's belief? Now, to do that, there's got to be some action items that need to be. You need to be really focused on self-mastery, the 80-20 principle, the E to P, and everything else in these 6 personal perspectives. But it's possible. So I'm never going to limit anyone's belief at all on what they want to accomplish. So anybody have anything else? I heard someone say something. What, Viviana, was that you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you got the floor.
I got the floor. Okay. I love selling real estate. I love helping families, being there for them, and finding the way to continue with their goals in their lives. So, and to me, the easiest way to find the people I want to work with is to meet them in person. So I always try to find ways how I'm going to meet new people and how I'm going to let them know I am in real estate and helping. I'm willing to help them, and I am, you know, a full-time agent. I do this every day, 24 hours a day. I am willing to do anything that takes to help them meet their goals. So I like to do open houses every weekend. I like to go to meetings. At church, I talked with people. I was talking with a lady on Sunday. I was in after church, and I tell them, I was talking to her. We were eating donuts and drinking coffee. And I was talking with her, and she's thinking about selling her house in San Mateo. And I gave her my business card. I said, you know, and she was telling me that she misses dancing. And I said, oh, I was in the dance group. I will give you the information about dance group. Here's my business card. Why don't we give me your information? too. So we exchange information, say, oh, you're a realtor. You know what? I'm thinking about selling my house in San Mateo. So these are the things I like to do, to meet people in person and share with them I am a realtor. And, you know, if they're not ready to sell, it doesn't matter how much time I touch them, it won't happen because they are not in the market. Their goal is to find people that would like to work with me. And I am not competing with other agents. When I do my listing presentation, I am here to show them what I can do for them, how I can help them, what are the marketing strategies that I have to help them. So, and if they like me, if they feel comfortable working with me, they will work with me. I don't have to put down other agents. I don't have to tell them I am better than other agents. No, here I am for you. What can I do? How can I help you? So these are the ways this is the way I work. And I've been door knocking again. Guess what? People are happy to see, oh, hi. So, you know, they like to open the door, and I was surprised. Before I got so many doors slammed on my face, you know, but now people are willing to open the doors. It's amazing. They want to see people.
So Viviana, let me ask you a question. So when you decide to go open doors, do you have that on your schedule? Or is it kind of whenever you have some free
That's
time?
my downfall. I don't have a schedule. I just get up in the morning, I start making calls to all the people I met before, just checking with them how they are doing. I make calls in the morning. I said, okay, the day is nice. Okay, let's see through the window. I'm going door knocking. Or I have an open house and I go and I make invitations for my open house. And I go around the neighborhood and bring the invitation. And it's a really nice, warm way to door knock, inviting people to your open house. You're not soliciting their business. You're inviting them to, so they go or they don't go, it doesn't matter. What is important is that they know you are a realtor, and if they're ready to do real estate, you're there.
Okay.
You know?
All right. So going on door knocking or doing some sort of prospecting is great. What I did when I first got in the business, and you like people a lot more than I do. So you have your way of doing it. My way is a little bit different, but self-mastery for me was I don't like talking to people. I'm telling you the truth. I don't like it. But I developed my skill set to be able to overcome the ability, because if you don't talk to people, what are the odds on being able to sell real estate? Pretty slim, right? So I got I modeled after a couple people that fit my personality, and I mastered how to prospect to people on how to do it. So you know, door knocking, Viviana, that's my favorite to do.
Okay.
And so, but I had to develop from just the seat of my pants to get organized and do it. So I'm glad that you do it. And it sounds like you do some sort of time blocking, because if you have an open house and you time block to prospect before the open house, that is
always. I have, you know, and I have a goal, a small goal. If I feel like I can only, if I print 100 invitations, I said, oh my gosh, 100, when? And I see I need so much time. If I print 40 invitations, I go and I do 40 invitations. I go and print in 40 more for the next day, and I will not stop until I door knock and I talk with 40 people. So that's, if the goal is too big, I know I will not do it. It's better to invite 10 people or 20 people or 30 people. A small goal is better than a huge goal that is too big sometimes.
So what do they say? Inch by inch, it's a cinch?
Oh,
You guys
yeah.
ever hear that?
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody else want to share anything? Thanks, Vivian. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Anybody have anybody hitting a ceiling right now that they're entrepreneurial and need to get to E to P that they'd like to share?
Mike, can I just say one thing that helped me a little bit? Is
Sure.
I'm a blend of you and Viviana. I think I'm very outgoing at times, but then I also don't want to go and approach people at all and tell them what I do. So I'm like this weird blend, but I finally just, my mantra now, when I start feeling kind of that anxiety to door knock or tell people what I do, I just constantly say, Heidi, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's perfectly normal to feel, this horrible and uncomfortable while you're doing this. It'll get better, down the road or never. But I just keep telling myself, you have to be uncomfortable with that. You have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
that,
it's self-awareness, basically, that if you want to get from point A to point B, there's things that you need to accomplish in order to achieve your goal. And that's what you're either subconsciously or consciously doing that. So,
Mhm.
yeah, no, hey guys, don't get me wrong. I talk to people all the time. It's not my, even though I in the disc I tested out that my eye is relatively high. I don't feel it, and I'm just as easily can be. I'm just easily can go to a party or stay at home by myself. So that's that's how I think my disc on a scale of 1 to 10 was a 6 on the eye and personality wise on that. So but anyway, but clear that you have to talk to people in order to sell real estate. So anybody else have anything to share? I hope you found this a little bit, maybe some self-awareness, some value in this, and I want to commend you for doing the 6 personal perspectives. And I would urge you to just not only finish the 6 personal perspectives, but to do it again next time it's being taught, so that you can pick up on things you didn't pick up the first time. It really is one of the top KW classes in my idea of classes. It's a must-have type of thing. But my E to P didn't land me a professional baseball career, so you can only go so far from going E to P. But anyway, guys, I'll hang on for next minute or so. If you have any other questions, any other comments, but I thank you for attending this class.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, take care, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. That's very nice. I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's always nice to hear your voice, Mike.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, John, give me a call after in about 5 minutes, okay?
Sounds good, Mike. We'll do.
Okay. Okay, guys, you take care.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye now.